absolutely well, as they do see their main man Danny Brown getting back into the team. Do you think that Danny Brown's getting back into action has somehow rejuvenated the way they play now, because we're seeing them, be a little bit more aggressive than they've been in a couple of weeks.
I did remember the qualifying stages. They were not as aggressive as they are right now. Stanley Brown is that man, is that player that's always been the jump starter to all of their engagements. He always tries to lead the charge, and it's good to have him back. I did see a couple of scrims that they had yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. A couple of test practice games, coming back to the squad. From Falcon, Manny, and Broach. I mean, that is a beautiful combination. Hopefully, it will be panning out at least for the duration of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see, what that does mean. But now we're seeing the boys from TOS. TOS now beginning to bear names. Remember when they first of all started, they were tryout squad. They were, basically just player one, player two, player three. But it seems like they've graduated and they've now begun to play a little bit more with a little bit more aggression. But now they're coming up against the boys from Afro Esports, and it does look like one of the players has been taken down. It's now left to Lazy and Bright OP to somehow keep their hopes alive in this game. And you can see the boys from Afro Esports continuing to make that push. It is Hunter who does try to see if he can take down Lazy, but Lazy, being the absolute beast as he is, puts Hunter down to the ground. And the boys from Afro Esports have now been reduced down to a two-man deficit. It does look like they were absolutely bombarded in that particular region. But the nade coming in from Peachy does put down a Lazy finally to the ground. It's now left to Bright OP to come up against the two players right there from Afro Esports. He does that jump shot, reduces Peachy's HP down to 1 HP. But at the end of the day, it is the boys from Afro Esports who do come out on top.
There's that peachy tax again. Fire. There's that peachy tax. Paying for itself once more. 6 eliminations to Peachy. And Afro Esports will be on top right now, looking very, very fantastic. Trial squad did do their absolute best to hold off, but Peachy was just too strong for them to handle. And Cyclone should have heard all of the action flying off to the side. They are going to be looking towards into the warehouses being occupied by the guys from First Arctic. You can see Agate on the left-hand side trying to peek right through the opening. They're trying to get an angle onto the guys from Cyclone Shield. Falcon will be just a little bit behind the tree, not exposing too many of his pixels right there, but he does have an idea onto the guys from First Arctics. It's not even the First Arctics, it's Solo Esports. And okay, so First Arctics have moved away from this particular the southeastern side, so now it's meant to be Solo Esports here with Never Alone Mighty Samurai and also the Yaks is not in the roster, so that tells you a whole different story. For Solo Esports are very, very more than capable. I mean, this is one of those Muzanzi teams, and we do not have a lot of them in the lobby right now. So that tells you a whole lot, about the level of experience that the Senegalese team has.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll see, what that does mean at the end of the day. But we're down to 4 teams left in this particular game. Danny Brown has finally been taken down to the ground. The boys from IC First Actics are currently within those buildings, and you can see Manny pretty much just stalking around, looking to see if they can get that one opportunity to push onto this region. Crux and the rest of the players are sitting down quite comfortably, and we'll see what that does mean. But speaking about just stalking around, the boys from Solo have now pulled up from behind them, and you can see Never Alone has gotten one of those eliminations to boot, and now they've reduced the numbers from CLS down to just 2 players, and those nades flying in does catch Stoner as well, and it's now left to Manny to somehow defend their position in this particular game. Is he going to be getting out of this position to try as much as possible to keep their hopes alive in this game? It does look like that's what he is going to be doing, as he does move away from the ups right there.
That is a wise choice. You run until you live to fight another day. I think his Tara just got blown away by Afro Esports there. And I think they heard him skulking around, and hopefully they will do something about that. But Solo Esports on the siege, UG got knocked away. And it might just be the opportunity for the guys from the First Artist to siege them and hold out to this position. But they will be playing compound defense. They will not overextend. And this will give the guys from Solo Esports the opportunity to keep UG all the way back up. They are up to the eliminations. We've still got 17 and 16 bodies in the cut. That tells you a whole lot of how these teams are trying to circle around and play their positions. But there might be so much at stake, moving forward from this part of the zone. It is still phase three of the circle. It is going to get tougher once we move into phase four. But Solo Esports already trying to hold out and play kind of southern position just a little bit too long, and maybe I think it would be better if they played this split, had two deeper inside of the zone, had two by the edge, owing to the fact that they just eliminated, Cycling Shield or a couple of players from Cycling Shield. But I mean, First Arctics do have them in the line of sight. How do you feel about First Arctics? Do you think this is a good position to open the logo or hold to the fact that they have limited information? I mean, they know where the action is, but they cannot necessarily spot everyone before the time.
I think that they're a very cautious team. Their level has steadily improved since they've gotten Crocs and Agatha into the team. They've been a little bit more aggressive. They've been a little bit more bold in the way they play. They've been getting into those top five positions a lot more frequently, and that obviously has paid off because now they're in the game of finals. To qualify into this stage is no small feat, but now they've got to step it up against the big dogs and see how they can perform at the great stage. We'll see what that does mean at the end of the day. They're coming into this game looking quite solid, but now violence has gone down to those nades being thrown in, but they're trying as much as possible to see if they can keep the defensive formation. The boys from Solo keep on, popping in the nades, looking to see if they can drop them down to the ground. There's also Afro coming in with a third party from there, but Afro's down to just two players, so they've got to be careful as well. They're not looking to make that full push onto this location. But First Actic still holding quite a defensive position right here as they got one of the players dropped down, but they did also get that return.
You see that now trying to play off of the intel there, rotating towards the western side. The Samurai and the Mighty will follow suit, but it's going to get very, very interesting here, owing to the fact that the guys from First Artists are aware, but never alone. Will catch Crocs, knocks him clean off the opportunity again, but Samurai will be spotted by Mash. He's knocked away, sent back into the lobby with the quickness. Agati, the last one up on the western side, trying to hold off as Crocs is still crawling away there, trying to get something working. But Agate again trying to hold off from too many bodies here, tries the absolute best. But Agate will be swept away beautifully by Yuji Boy. And Solo Esports will claim First Arctic, sending them out there in sixth place.
Oh, boys from Solo Esports putting in a great performance right there as they do make quick work of the boys from First Actics and send them back into the lobby. We were speaking about First Actics before this game started about how they have been performing a lot better. But coming up against Solo Esports right there, that was an amazing push. They played it quite well. I do feel like First Actics could have been a bit more aggressive in the way they took on that fight. But sometimes, just being too defensive does put you in a very sticky situation right there. You become pretty much predictable.
I mean, it says a whole lot based off of the strategy that most of these teams like to play. And again, take a look at dominance from Solo Esports. Four players up, couple of eliminations in the bag. I mean, they're the only team that has four players here. Afro Esports just have two players up. Same thing with the Principals. They've got like just three players up. I mean, that says a whole lot. Solo Esports already have a plan here, and it looks like they might just be following through. But here comes PG, and we know how crazy that PG tax goes. Mighty's on the left, trying to peek him and spot him as well, but he will be tagged away by Never Alone, and he will be sent back into the lobby surely, and most definitely. But Neo is on the chase, switches to the brother, peeks on to the right hand side, will get the knock, knocks him away, but again, the cover fire from Yuji Boy is absolutely fantastic. Solo Esports will sweep away Afro, and now it is all left to no pressure with two players up and a couple of indecent settings. They are outside of the play zone. They've heard what has happened here between the guys from Solo and Afro. And I don't know if they want to taste of it as well, but they will be pulling up to the scene. Outlaw plays on the left-hand side. Will park his buggy, charges the grenade, might just connect to Samurai. If he's not careful, have to fall all the way behind, but he will be tagged up again from the guys from the Invincibles. Way up there in the eastern side, fire. There's so many bodies around. And it looks like the guys from Solo Esports will have to reset and take the compound instead.
Yeah, the boys from Solo Esports playing this one quite Amazing, amazing. They're being very careful. They're playing like a full team, taking on several different players from different angles. And you can see right there as they do make quick work of Outlaw and send him back into the lobby. Now they're coming into the final circle with a full squad right there. As you can see, Choco getting that knock onto that player Elixir. Elixir now does leave only the one team. It is Sleepless's team right here with Sean X and Choco, who are left in a 2v4 situation. They probably do have some time to get Sleepless back up. It might put them in a situation where they could take out the boys from Solo Esports. We'll see how that one goes. But in a 3v4 situation, they haven't gotten quite as much action as the boys from Solo have had in this particular game. If they can take out one of the players from Solo, maybe Mighty or Samurai early on, it might just give them a chance up against the boys from Solo Esports.
Yeah. I mean, that says a whole lot there. But Sleepless will spray with the Groza. That's a fantastic spray. As Samurai has been knocked away and he's all by himself. Sleepless will
Mm.
catch him lacking. And now it's a 3 versus 3. A potential here from the guys from the Invincibles to do something about his Sleepless. And he's driving a little bit too dangerously. But the cover fire is absolutely brilliant. UG Boy tacked all the way down to about 1 HP. And Sean from the right hand side will catch him slipping immediately. Mighty, the last one up, I believe. Or there are 2 actually for them, Never Alone and Mighty on the other side. But now it is all up to the Invincibles. They have the upper hand now. It's a 3 versus 2, and it looks like UG Boy might not just get picked off. Samurai has been tucked away and sent into the lobby. Never Alone, trying to pop those utilities, have the smokes just to hide this position, but he's been spotted by Sean. He knows exactly where he is. He knows exactly where he's trying to move to, and he's anticipating that movement. But UG Boy will be sent back into the lobby with the 3 versus 2 now, surely. Never Alone from the rear end by Choco. Fought and caught, and now it's a one. The Invincibles showing us why they are invincible. Mighty getting spotted and shot away by Sean here. Beautiful play from the Invincibles. I really thought Solo had this one in the bag, but Sleepless will drive through. He's been heard. Surely that will be the end of Solo Esports, ladies and gentlemen. The Invincibles will take that chicken dinner.
Damn, 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 damn. Amazing gameplay coming through from the Invincibles right there as they do seal that game. At some point I did think that the boys from Solo Esports were going to, win that particular game, but at the end of the day, it is Invincibles who do come out on top.
That was absolutely breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. I did not expect that. I absolutely did not expect that. That was beautiful, beautiful work from the way they played the terrain, the way they played the zone. I mean, Solo Esports were not prepared. They overestimated. They thought, oh, it's a 4 versus 3. We have this in the bag, but decided to spread out a little bit too thin. With that first push from Samurai, I believe he moved just too far ahead and he got caught out by Sleepless with the Groza, and that was the beginning of the end, for Solo Esports. They got blown away, they got absolutely decimated. They did not have a plan, they did not have a comeback. You can see the guys from the Invincibles, they played as a team. They also played in a split, but they also had cover. They covered each other from end to end, and that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, amazing stuff coming down right there for the boys from Invincibles as they did make good work of Solo Esports. They lit up at the perfect time before coming into that final fight. They had not gotten into a lot of action, but they managed to get Sleepless back up just in time to get that knock on Mighty, and that proved to be effective for them as the boys from Solo Esports had a split that finally worked against them in that final circle.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will return for the next set of games. But before then, let us catch you guys right after this break.
Isn't this when Isaac is supposed to be going through all these details?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I don't know. I don't know the script. Yeah, they didn't. I think it was
Uh,
any script or I don't know. I don't know. But we're just testing. Okay, let me see.
All right, all right, all right. It's one more game, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Short break.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making we take them out.
Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant taps, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. We take them out. Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant taps, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. We take them out. Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant taps, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. We take them out. Whoa! And he's gonna give you.
We take them out.
Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant tops, brilliant stuff.
We take them out.
Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant tops, brilliant stuff.
We take them out.
Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant tops, brilliant stuff.
We take them out.
Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant taps. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. Whoa! And he's gonna give you. Oh, talk about timing! Brilliant taps. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? We saw a very amazing game coming in from the guys from Invincibles, and now we're going into the second one. Can the boys from Solo Esports somehow make a comeback right there, Priest? Do you think that they will be rejuvenated in the second game, or we're going to see another team step it up?
I mean, I was impressed, going into, their regional performance, you guys from Barcelona Sports. I was very, very impressed how they were, holding out. But, they got a little bit complacent and started getting lackluster. That was the beginning for them. Just thought that that's what they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have a plan, they didn't have a strategy. They thought the numbers advantage would work in their favor, and they started to underestimate. But this time around, they paid the price, and they've learned. They've learned that okay, all that glitters is not diamond house. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Solo is supposed to do. They did get double digit elimination. I think they got up to 10. So that was a big move from them. I think they would be able to learn and adapt to the lobby as they continue to advance going to the next couple of games or other times. But hopefully all of these teams that have been able to put some points on the board for themselves, and those teams that are still struggling to get some points. I'm looking forward to see what
Yeah.
they learn from game one. But fire this flight path play zone. What do you think is going to be the plan here for rest of this?
Yeah, definitely. I do think that this flight path is going to put a lot of fights along the way for these teams right here. So we're now seeing the action going down between Solo Esports and several different teams right there in Pochinki. They come up against the boys from MOB Mighty, trying to see if they can get into the building and cause some damage. Does get cut off by Shark from MOB. Never alone finds himself in a situation where he's got several different teams around him. He drops one, he drops two, coming up against Shaq this time around, but he will not be successful as Shaq does put in the work right there for the boys from MOB, but he's not let to sleep right here as the boys from Knock Lobby are also making
Ooh,
their push.
Knock a lobby. They've been waiting. They've been hearing the sounds. And they know that something has happened here. And a couple of sprays. They come through. And knock and lobby will sweep whatever is left of the guys from Men of Blood. Beautiful play. They listened. They waited. And that was the end. Unfortunately, the spoils of battle. That is what it is. Solo Esports, unfortunately, did get a couple of players knocked away from Men of Blood. And while they were in the setting of getting those players all the way back up, the guys from Knock and Lobby came in and swept what was left. Beautiful, beautiful work from Knock and Lobby there. Listening, just listening in, paying attention to the surroundings, the field feed, understanding what is going on, and capitalizing off that information. And that is what you love to see. No pressure here in playing a little bit of a dance with the devil here with that from esports. You have to right outside, you can hear them, and you can smell them, and you know how crazy that Peachy Tax is. But they heard him as well as the grenade will bounce. Mr. Bombastic Grenade bouncing just to the left-hand side there, will warn him away. And Afro Esports trying their absolute best to shield themselves from no pressure. Pressure will fall upon them very short. Afro Esports do have a lot of mounting to climb here. It's 4 versus 3 fire. You think they can be to hold off?
Well, I do think that they can hold up. We saw the boys from Invisibles come up against, solo esports and find a way to do it. Sometimes when you do have a split, that might work against you. All it takes is to just drop one of the members, and you can see that Outlaws is currently not with the rest of his teams. Not that they can provide some support coming in from a distance, but if Neo does manage to drop Outlaws, it might just prove to be effective in this game. But he's holding that DBS, that dangerous DBS that is yet to be nerfed, and that might just prove to be the deciding factor for Outlaw.
Do you have that ability to play, on the defensive side? But they have a numbers advantage to work with them as well. And Afro Esports, what do they have? That PG tax that pays for itself. One of the most deadliest players in the game right now. No pressure, will not be pressure fourth. As Heartless. I'd like to call them Heartless because that's the vibe we do be given. But no pressure. Still skulking around here, trying to gather some intel and utilities for themselves. They have a lot of time though to manage. So you can tell that this guy Outlaw has 2 shotguns, and that tells you a whole story there that he hasn't picked up all the utilities that he needs. But Afro Esports, on the other hand, do have almost semi-automatics in the depth. They know for a fact that this will be working for them, at least for the time being. But they will be able to navigate from this position. So PG will look over into that position again. They do know there's a 4-man team by now. I'm sure that they're certain. But again, Neil might just expose himself a little bit too much there. Glixie's still on that high rise. He will catch a shot. PG will pop up his head from this position. He will be spotted and beaten. But the guys from Afro Esports, will they be able to capitalize, based off of that engagement? Fire, have you seen the guys from No Pressure? Have you watched them? Because I watched them a lot. I'm very impressed with them.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think they're a very compact team. They do play with a lot of energy. They do seem to be electrifying in the way they push. They play together. They're always very organized. Kind of like Afro as well. Afro Esports. Very aggressive, but they play as a team, and that's exactly what the boys from No Pressure do tend to do. We see some other teams like Solo Esports, living up to the name, of course. Solo, they get that spread. They go on their solo missions, and that may prove to be effective sometimes, but some teams that stay compact like No Pressure and Afro Esports do make it quite difficult for teams to sort of break them down because they're really together, and any slight mistake could just see you getting taken down.
It spells a whole lot of anguish, for those teams that do not have expertise of playing box to box and compound defense. Because again, the guys from Afro Esports will have a lot of work cut out for them in this area. They do know how to play these positions, but No Pressure as well. Equally blessed when it comes to holding out positions for the longest of times. But it looks like Cyclone Shield will catch a glimpse of the guys from Tryout Squad. Player 1 has been sent back into the lobby and is going left to right to the PE. The rest of the battle of Cyclone Shield will lean into this push. They will take the advantage. Manny will hop into the UAZ there. Don't know if they've that's a fantastic script from HP Shield, but it will not be enough. Will fall behind again. He's been spotted. That Cyclone Shield will take the advance and he will move away. But that's the danger. Turning your back to the off, they will try to run him over, and he does expose the rear end, and that will be the end of the Triumph Squad. Sent away the 40 plays by guys for Cyclone Shield. 2 eliminations to them, and it looks like Cyclone Shield have found their point.
Yeah, absolutely. Cyclone Shield continuing on with their with their aggressive play right there, as they do find themselves in a situation where they come out on top again. We'll see what that does mean at the end of the day for all of these guys as they continue on with the battles, trying to see if they can take out a few teams around them. But there's something about Cyclone Shields. Yeah, they're that team that over and over again we do see them getting aggressive, but many times they do not come out on top. But we'll get into that in a moment's time as the boys from Afro Esports have Peachy and Hunter who are currently down. It's just Neo who is left in this situation. Usually you would see him trying as much as possible to get that back off, and we did talk about this. The boys are no pressure are that very aggressive team that plays in a very compact move, and they're very hard to break down, and we're seeing that now come into play. But maybe this third party from the boys from 10-11 might just prove to be a thorn in the side of the boys from no pressure.
They've heard the violence going on there. Toughness has been picked back up, and hopefully Tony Level will come to the rescue of Neo here as he's thrown on the ground, waiting for that element of surprise. He is trying to survive that. Around there. That's a fantastic spray, but Neo has to use his chase down. He is trying to chase down that player from no pressure. Glixie has been knocked away, but danger spelling here for the guys from no pressure. They're getting chased down by 10-11 and Afro Esports last player Neo sends a couple of bullets all the way through, but Electro will escape the danger for the time being. Glixie, on the other hand, will get picked up and no pressure will continue to mount the defense. Now and Pego is there with the S12K, will catch outlaw, but here comes Glixie there with the Uzi, will catch him as well. Happy pulls up to the scene. Pego will be confirmed by Artless. Electric playing behind the walls there. The rest of the guys from level will need this advance there. Snuffy is on the left-hand side, charging the grenade. That just be the opening they've been looking for. They've heard him. The grenade this time will pop through. And a couple of shots will ring again from Artless, but he will fall behind. And now no pressure, back to a four-man team. And you that's a nice grenade. Just bounces right in front of Artless there. We'll cut it down. It's about 40 HP. The rest of the guys from the pressure will take the pressure off and fall all the way back. And that is the advantage of having a complete team fire. Always advantage because of the compact plays. But I spoke to Snuffy's grenade is excellent and he will breach that corner now after EBS pops it again. But a lot of the Bro, Snuffy will get the job done, but Electro will step back into the lobby. Electro now trying his absolute best to deal with it, but after step back into the lobby, Snuffy will switch to the DPS, facing the left-hand side again, trying to take on that himself, pops right through, but that will again Vixie will seal the deal. 10-11, send back into the lobby as Artless continues to bleed out. Sure, he get picked up, and that was a huge play for the game. That's from low pressure. We talked about this fire compact. They are so compact in low pressure, and this is why he plays for at least 8 times the captain. We're coming in from there.
Yeah, absolutely. No pressure. They're very compact in the way they make their push, but obviously 10-11 are no pushover. So we did see one casualty at least to the boys from no pressure, but they came up against 2 different teams and not any pushover teams. Imagine surviving against Afro Esports and 10-11 within the same vicinity and coming out on top with just 1 casualty. That definitely is something to applaud for the team right there from no pressure, as they did keep the numbers quite intact and they did get those maximum eliminations to boot. Now they can go on in this particular game and try to seal the deal.
A lot of work, that will be required for those teams that are trying to take first place. Solid Army this time. Unfortunately, Jesse has been swept to go. That's a it's good, it's big, but he exposes himself a little bit too long there and he will get knocked away. And our Dream Team will start the advance. Grenade from Lucid immediately over the counter. Pops right through. Surely it will be confirmed. And the rest of the guys from the Solid Army will fall back and get out of large danger there. But that beautiful grenade might just connect from Prophecy, sends it to the right hand side. And it will fall just a little bit too short as Reset is going to be tagged up by 40 HP. But Prophecy using the advantage, trying to pop to the left hand side. He is trying to hold off and find the sprays from the first half of the sandwich. A terrible position of Solid Army getting squashed away. They trying to fight all these battles again. Lucy will fight sends him back as well. But the return from resets tries to reset. They're going to overwhelming, they're swarming, and that will be the end of Anthony Darby. Sent back into the lobby with the quickness, courtesy of Trinity. Finally, you saw that play. Look at Slade. He sprayed, he missed, and he still kept his head out. Why?
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff going down right there as they do find themselves, getting into a good situation with those sprays coming through. But now let's turn our sights onto first tactics coming up against the boys from Dream Team. You see Agate trying to send on them shots. He does connect a little bit onto Slinger, but not able to do sufficient damage enough for them to drop down one of the players from Dream Team.
Danger of first tactics from this position. At Sunny because on Sunny Down he did expose himself on top of that hill to the back from first tactics, and the sprays just kept on coming. I believe Agate was probably the one to go to Sunny Down. That's the deal from our position. That was absolutely fantastic for first tactics. Eventually, they were able to do more. They've not been able to get any eliminations just yet, and I don't think they were able to get any last. Okay, I think they got one in the solo esports push just right outside of that building with the terrain outside. So I think they got one elimination to take this fight so that the captain will be the victim this time. But Danny Brown will see the deal actually. Talk about Danny Brown fire, he has been absolutely fantastic. It's like he never left.
Absolutely. He somehow has rejuvenated the boys from CLS and gotten them to be a little bit more aggressive in the way they're taking on the push from this team. So we'll see, what that does mean for them at the end of the day as they continue on with their onslaught right here. But Falcon, Manny, and the rest of the boys are pretty much just getting close to the boys from First Actics. There's also Dream Team within this vicinity. Be curious to see what that does mean for them at the end of the day, as all these teams are just gearing up for what is going to be a really, really, really crazy battle. We'll see at the end of the day what goes down. But the Agate sits on insights onto the boys from First Tactics, looking to see from Dream Team actually, looking to see if she can take down Lucid or one of the members right there. But we'll see, what that does mean is we've still got about 9 teams right here within this particular game, and with 30 bodies, I'm curious to see what goes down. But I feel like the teams who usually will be making those aggressive pushes like 10-11, like Afro Esports, have now gotten sent out of the game, and it's sort of like left things a bit quiet for now.
It's relatively quiet when it comes to the aggressive teams getting caught out very running themselves again. Money is there, they beautiful finish again. The guys from Invincibles will get the job done again, sending them back into the lobby. And it is Sleepless with a 4-piece onto the guys from No Pressure, pressuring them back into the lobby. And now the Invincibles again, 4 eliminations up. And this is the team you have to look out for. They've been absolutely phenomenal these past couple of weeks. I am a big fan of watching how they're starting to adjust to hobbies. I talked about how things could easily get quiet. But again, let us not forget that all of these teams are trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to build something, build character, and be known for a particular play style. And this showing this tacticality and aggression at the same time. For love it. Then first after she's here, playing as a team, playing compounds, a little bit too. But terrain play is always going to encourage. They are always going to encourage. Terrain play does open the doors for third parties and whatnot. But if you play just right, you will play very well. Get yourself some significant points.
Yeah, we're curious to see what begins to happen right there as we are now into the final moments of the game. We've still got about 7 teams, but the boys from OT find themselves in a very sticky situation coming up against the boys from Invincibles, and Ronnie and his teammates are putting up a really strong defense as No Name gets pretty much charged up right there. Psycho and the rest of the team and trying as much as possible to see if they can keep their hopes alive in this game, but it's not looking, quite great for them for them so far, as they're not with the main man Nexus for now, and that sort of do you think that's affecting all three with the way they're playing?
Nexus is one of the strongest players in the season to the rest of the team. I'm really happy. Even though, of course, outside and struggling as Ninja will get pulled away by Choco. Sent back into the lobby there. No name starts the champion for Nate. Touching 2 days for 1. No name will connect fast. Now is the opportunity for Obi to seal the deal here. Choco will fall all the way back and charge another grenade just to repel the action. Psycho on the right hand side trying to find an angle plays from the left. And Choco again tries his absolute to push them all the way. Beautiful grenade from Psycho. Look at Ronnie, knocks him clean off. Now the opportunity for pressure. Making it fast. Genos exposes himself just a little bit too long. Choco will knock him clean off as well. And it's all left to Choco. Do the Lord's work here for the last but now the advance walks through. Psycho is going to expose himself just a little bit too long there. Short. Now making his advance to back deal damage there. It will catch Choco, knocks him immediately and hops back into the vehicle. And now 03 will be in a 1 versus 1. It is 03 versus guys from the Invincibles. And it's all left to Sean here. And you know that Sean is a 1 versus 1 versus Berlin versus Sean. Somehow Choco will be sent back into the lobby with the quickness. That's a fantastic split there to work through, but Sean is only just to make the advance a little bit forwards there, but the revive from No Name will change things here, and here we go. The revive is done. It's a 2 versus 1 now. Genos is still trying to get his health up, but Sean has been exposed, and now will he be able to take a 2 versus 1 onto the guys from 03, makes from the northern side, makes the push towards the vehicle, DBS in hand from Genos, tries to connect. Again, he's trying again to navigate the action from that corner. But again, Sean will use utilities, pops it to the right. Again, feints, probably is going to try his best from the left-hand side. And now is the opportunity for the Invincibles to do something here. The element of surprise. Pops a couple of shots with again. Numbers advantage will come out on top. Beautiful play coming in from the guys from 03, and they will take that engagement fire. So I'm guessing they're not missing Nexus that much fire.
Man, absolutely. We did see, some incredible stuff going down right there. But now turning our sights onto the boys from Active Gaming coming up against CLS. They have lost a couple of players right there. So it is just left with Arnez coming up against the rest of the players right there. Arnez drops 1 down. He drops 2. He's taking them out right there. And the boys from CLS were looking like they were on the front foot right in this particular game as they dropped a couple of buddies. And now down to just 2 players. It is the boy Arnez who is holding his own down right here, and he drops another player. He drops Falcon down, and it's just left with Danny Brown in this one. Arnez keeps on putting on the work right there up against the boys from CLS, and here goes that DBS again, putting the quick work. Can he finally get that last elimination against Danny Brown to seal that deal up against the boys from CLS? Danny Brown seems to be on the flip side. He's trying as much as possible to see if he can evade Arnez for now, and he's setting on the shots. And
oh my god. All I do is win. That's why they call me Arnez. Win because Arnez from Active single-handedly just eliminated all of the players from Cyclone, Shield, Fire. Arnez is the chef because he's been cooking 5 eliminations, 4 being Cyclone Shield. I mean, come on, man. Come on. That was absolutely brilliant. The DBS should be cancelled. The DBS should be cancelled. Because what did I just what did I just absolutely outstanding performance. Fire. I mean, I don't even have words. I did not think, Cyclone should get called off like that. They should have played range, with him. They should have played range with him. It was very boxed in, it was very like that corner. I guess just
yeah, absolutely amazing stuff right there. That move That move was super, super, super crazy coming in from a nest. And there's but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we have now seen the boys from Active Gaming coming out on top in that fight. Sometimes it is just what it is, and that's why so many different people have been calling in for the nerf of that DBS. Because if you can control it, if you can seal the deal right there, it will prove to be the end for any team that comes into your vicinity, and we saw it right there happen against the boys from CLS. What would you say, Priest? I mean, do you think that there was something that the boys from CLS could have done right there? They pushed even in as two players up against him, but he still managed to drop them down with that DBS.
I mean, in that scenario, once you hear the DBS, you just directly calculate. The guys from Cyprus, they just got caught off. They got caught slipping because of that position of advantage that Ernest had over them. You just have to respect Ernest. It's not that Cyprus should have done anything better. It's just that Ernest had a plan for them to see. And that's just what it is. The dream team here is still struggling heavily just by the edge of the circle. There, another player from First Arctics will go down. First Arctics will have three players knocked away. You might as well trying to fight so many battles on that other side. Side will get knocked away. I think the reset is going to come through there, but Archer has been spotted on the other side. A couple of shots sent onto him as well. Absolutely just the good one. That's from Bill David coming in from the northern side. Geno's low 3 will lead the challenge. Find a way to that circle. Now, no name will flashing and into this position. 03 doing a fantastic job of leaving out the numbers from the guys from first half. Fox will be the next one to fall this time, courtesy of Liverpool instead. And now they will use that bridge advantage to work with the forward. So 03 plays and has moved again. It is phase 5. All of these teams need to, hop onto that gas and make the right moves and find a way that they can get into the next phase of the circle. The position to get a chicken demonstrate there could be so much more that they he's again hitting the water, catches the sand, the beautiful spray, but the facility still work. Archer has been spotted, and that will be the end of First Arctics, courtesy of Dream Team. And now we are down to 4 teams and 8 players.
Yeah, we'll see what that does mean as we do see, shots being let loose at every single corner. We're down to 4 teams right here in this one. The boys from Dream Team, trying to get those revives on. As you can see, they're making it happen. No gaming, still alive in this game. First Actis as well as one of the players from Active Gaming is Ernest, as we saw him single-handedly, boost the team right into that final circle. But Dream Team trying to get into a great position. All 3 brothers as well. They lost a couple of their members, so every team has felt the hurt. They've gotten into the action over and over and over again. But we'll see, who does come out on top in this particular game. As the boys from Dream Team do seem to have the numbers advantage. It's a 3v2v2v1 situation coming up for all of these guys, and I'm curious to see what that does mean at the end of the day. All 3 brothers just getting quite close. They're now being thirsted. I do believe it is Ernest who's sending on the shots onto the boys from 03. Oh no, actually, it is the boys from No Gaming who's sending on the shots. They do drop down. Genos is just left with no name, and then a very sticky situation as the zone's pulling up onto their region right here, Priest, and it's not looking the best for them as they find themselves in the open.
Yeah, Dream Team have been doing a fantastic job of holding out, but Ernest will get that double grenade onto the guys from 03, and he will send them out in 4th place. And No Gaming somehow with their 2 players have been Stinger will get spotted again, but no idea. Explosives are just too much. Sad to block it clean off, and that will be the end of No Gaming courtesy. But now Ernest is there spraying into the distance, trying to catch the last 2 players for the guys from Dream Team. Ernest, the solo player for Active Gaming, punches behind the rock, but chooses the tree cover line instead, and will make the advance to the compound. It is a 1 versus 3 here, Dream Team versus Active Gaming. Archer pops right from that corner. Active Gaming, Ness has been doing a fantastic job here. He has been absolutely brilliant ever since he eliminated single-handedly eliminated the guy from Cycling Shield, and he does still have that DBS. Will he make it 2 for 2? It's a 3 versus 1, and but that has never stopped him before. Grenade in hand there. Surely they know he's there, but it's a matter of whose grenade connects first. But he moves out of dodge, he moves out of the dangerous position. Look at Ernest, he's using the smokes to his advantage. Pops a couple forms the left-hand side, and he will make the advances out of that place. So he will pop a little bit more. Again, another smoke comes outside, and that's doing a fantastic job of keeping the guys from Dream Team at bay. But will they make that push? Slinger will lead the charge instead, trying to find an angle behind the airdrop box there. But the rest of his teammates, will they make that call as well? Again, he pops. Now he's been spotted, but that will be the end of Active Gaming. Dream Team will take that chicken dinner.
Absolutely amazing teamwork coming in from the boys from Dream Team as they do seal that game and finally get those maximum eliminations. But we can't take anything away from Anez as he did find himself into that second spot. At some point in time, it looked like the boys from Active Gaming were going to get sent out of the game, but he single-handedly battled them right into that final circle. So with that, we can say that we have now concluded the games of the night.
Abi, we don't finish now, Abi. Now test.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Maybe
Fantastic job. Fantastic.
rest.
Fantastic job, guys. Nice work. Nice work, guys.
Nice work. We can go, Abi. It's
Nice
done.
work, guys. I think we're good. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. Yeah. So I just need to see what is next. Okay, all right. So I think we need to cut our cameras. So
Yeah. They probably want to test our cameras.
T2K, DRS, Star Wars. Is it this? Wait, is it this SCA? Isn't it Southeast Asia? STE, Thailand. It's Southeast Asia. Is it Southeast Asia or South Asia? I think this is South Asia. T2K. So, it's South Asia. So, what do they call this thing? There's a word for this. Seismic graph. All right. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the gamr.africa finale. It is Studio Boy Priest, and I'm here with my main man Fire. We just saw Dream Team take a chicken dinner away from Active Gaming, but let us not lie, and this was absolutely brilliant in that phenomenon, taking that from Sunday with that DBS Fire. I'm sure that one excited you. I'm sure you enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff. I did enjoy it. I was actually shocked. But anyways, you can't take anything away from the DBS. That's why so many different people are calling for it to get nerfed. Because that thing is just crazy. It's just crazy. Imagine a full team, getting dropped down. So whether it's a player I'm affiliated to or not, I still think that the DBS has to has to go. It has to go. It's just way too much. Like one shot, boom, you're down. Man, it's just too much. Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will be our time for tonight. Big shout out to everyone involved in this production. Big shout out to the teams for participating. Do not forget, we'll catch you next time. Gamer out.
Oh, absolutely. But now we're also seeing right there on the kill feed the boys from O3 doing a little bit of damage while we're here with the boys from MOB.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you